Hello, lovely people. Here I am again. You're not getting away from me now. You're going to be sick of me soon. So I thought we'd do something a bit different today. I'm actually going to make a video of making something instead of the usual flip through that I've been doing the last month or so, weeks, few weeks, however long it's been. Feels like forever. Oh. No, I digress already. So after doing a craft radio interview with the lovely Dash of Dave, I was given the opportunity to set a prompt, and the prompt I set was flip outs. And so, true to form, I thought we might make some. I'm going to use this beautiful kit, Poppyclonker, which is one of his etched kits, which will soon be on Ko-fi. You can get it on Etsy at the moment, or you can wait for it to move over to Ko-fi. I might nudge him to do it first, since I've shown it to him. I'm going to make some flip outs for some journals that I've got in progress. I'm going to show you the covers of the journals, but I'm not going to show you the journals because you're going to have to wait for the flip through. But these are the pages I'm going to use, and these are the journals. There's 4 of them, but here are the first 2. So they are single signature, getting chunky Poppy journals, Poppy themed journals. They use both Poppyclonker, his Poppy themed kit, and an older kit called, I believe, Pipax, which is Hungarian for Poppy, because as people that know him know, he has a Hungarian partner. So they're the first 2 that I've been working on, and these are the chunkiest of them. Get in there. And they're the other 2. So they're all works in progress. As much as I'm going to show you of them, I might show you a flip out on the page. A bit of cotton stuck on, a bit of tape there. But there's 4 of them in progress. So some of the flip outs that we make today, I'm going to go in those. Just throw them in the floor. I also have one more, which is also in progress, which is this one, which is a 3 signature journal, and this is using Poppyclonker. So I can probably show you some of the pages in this because it's got Poppyclonker in it. There you go. There's a page from Poppyclonker. But again, work in progress. That's got to change. It's got to be at least like that. So we're going to make some flip outs. So stick with me, see what we can get up to. So throw that one on the floor. Excuse me, we'll rub my nose. Back to this. You use this kit. Oop, and I'll pick some pages, and I'm going to make flip out pockets with a window. Just, you know, can't do anything simply. But I think they're really simple to make. I'll show you how. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to get a scoreboard, because for me, that's the easiest way to do it. You could just do it with a ruler and a butter knife if you don't have a scoreboard. But for me, scoreboard. Battered and bruised, well used, bears of it. So what we can do is stick this on. I'm going to use the full page more or less for everything, and I'm going to start by on the side with the design. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch score. And exhale. And fold that in. Ooh, fold it in. Despite the fact I have a scoreboard, fold it in and try and make it straight. Ooh, and try and keep it on camera. That's the other thing that I haven't done for a long time, just had to keep things in camera. And then I want them about 4 or 4.5 inch wide. It's entirely up to you. I'm kind of just going with what I want to do at the time, but I'm going to do this one at 4, and I'm going to score at 4. So it's actually at 4.5 because I folded in that 4.5, and folded that one, so that my pocket's going to be, fold that one, my pocket's going to be 4 inches wide. Yeah, that's the first one. I'm going to flip it around like that, and then I'm going to score at the first mark after, so that something to stick down, but also something to use as a flip. So this one I'm going to fold in the opposite direction. And that's essentially the basics of doing it. So that would stick to a page, and you could stick it here and here, and down here, tuck spot, and then you've got a pocket that flips out. You put something in there, yeah, and it's as simple as that. If you want to keep it that simple. I, on the other hand, never want to shy away from making it more complicated for myself. I'm going to give myself a bit on the bottom, which is 1/2 inch, so that I can turn a bit under and have more space on the inside for use. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a window in it. And what I'm going to do is, I'm looking at that back of it, turn it around is, you have that on one side, and on this side, I'm going to put a window on the bag bit. Ta-da! And then I've got some pre-made poppy clusters that I've got that I might decorate with. But that's essentially the essence. So, I'm going to put that to one side, and we'll kind of mass make for you. That word, mass make. We'll kind of mass make for you. I'm going to turn it this way, just because I want the design to fold over. So, 1/2 inch. 4.5. I'm going to do this one at 5, so it's a bit wider. So my actual pocket will be 4.5. And then I'm folding my edge. That's going to give me the gusset for my pocket. I fold that over, and I'll bob that up against there. And then I'm going to go into the next little groove along. And I'll fold that bit opposite there. And that gives me my flip, and it's smaller, but it still gives me my tuck to stick it down. And you could just stick it down entirely, but I'm going to use it as a tuck spot as well. And then, I'm going to put that on that way. And I'm going to give it 1/2 inch at the bottom. Does that make sense? Are you following along? So you end up with that. Yeah? I'm going to put that to one side. And I'm opening mine back up again because I'm going to put a pocket in them. I'm going to put a window in them. And so I need it to be open again, because I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. We'll do it in a little production line. These are all pages from Poppyclonker. I already like them. Go and check out his Etsy at the moment if you want to buy it straight away, or go check out his coffee. So I'm going to do 1/2 inch on this one, and then I'm going to do a 4.5, so that we get a 4-inch pocket. I'm going to fold that in to make my gusset. I'm going to fold that in to make my pocket. And I'll bob that up against there. Go to the next free groove along. It's a groove thing, you know, shaky groove thing and all that. And look, that's so not straight, despite the fact that I've used a scoreboard. That's so not straight. Honestly, you can have all the tools in the world, still be a wonky. Yeah, and then I'm going to fold that one in that way. I'm going to put that against there. I'm going to give it 1/2 inch at the bottom. And that'll give me my little gusset bit for the bottom. So that's that one. Open it back up, I'm going to put a window in there. 2 more. 3 more. So 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. That was a bit of rubbish. Fat fingers in the way. 1/2 inch. 4.5 inch. Fold your gusset, fold your pocket, bob it back on your scoreboard, find the next available groove bit, And you can just do this by eye if you want. You might do a couple by eye. You might not actually, not very good by eye. I can't do a straight line on the scoreboard. Can you imagine me do that one? That would not be fun. I'm not going to fold that the other way. We're going to bob it along there. I'm going to do a half inch at the bottom. There you go. So that's another one. And you can see the grooves better if you look at the other side. Yeah. Right, so this one, I'm going to tell you I'm going to do it this way so it's butted up against this end. Just front flower pattern to be in my pocket. And then I'm using the blank side to put my door window in. So 1/2 inch, 4.5 inches. Oop. Fold in my gusset. Fold in. That's almost a bit straighter. Put it back up against the side of the scoreboard. Find that one's actually clearer. I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to fold that way. So, look at it like that. Remember? There's the gusset of my pocket, which sticks on there. That's my flip out. And that's my, sorry, that's my bit that sticks down the tuck spot. And that's my pocket that flips out. And put the bottom up. Do a 1/2 inch. That's that one. And then last one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about a pocket on this one because it's got design on both sides. What's going on? But hey, we'll figure it out somehow. Do that. Might get a bit creative with this one and have, what am I doing? 1/2 inch. See, can't follow my numbers. 1/2 inch and 4.5. Sound that. Fold that one. There's your gusset. There's your create pocket. Put it up that way so you see the light there. And then go on to the next available groove thing. As you're shaking the groove thing. Flip it over. Fold it in that way. And then against the bottom, fold the 1/2 inch. And that'll form my bottom gusset. Just means I can get a bigger tag in for those that know me. Oh, I like a big tag. Okay, so I've got all of those. So we'll do this one last because I'm going to get a bit more showy off it with that one. I have an idea for that one. So we'll go back to the beginning. I'm going to move the scoreboard because we don't need that for now. I don't think I need it all now. I think I'm done with it. But, oop, we'll bring it all back in. So, what we need to do is, I need to find a pair of scissors. That'd be a good thing. There we go. And we're going to, first of all, take off the bottoms so that we've just got the bit we need. So, I'm going to keep this, do it on the side, probably see the lines better. I'm going to keep this bit, because that's going to fold over, and that's going to be in my pocket. And I'm going to mitre it, so it comes in a bit, so it folds over. I'm going to mitre that one, and I'm going to mitre the top bit. Yeah, and then they're my gussets from my pocket, which will stick onto this side. But it means that I don't need any of that. That can all go, and that little corner can go. So, in true mass making style, we'll do the same to all of them. So that one, that's my bottom. So that's my bottom gusset. I'm trying to make sure I stay in camera. I'm out of practice of doing that, that's for sure. It's been a long time since I've made anything on video. So, and that's my side gusset. So that's my pocket. So it'll stick down on there. And then this bit, we can lose completely. And I should be able to do it with a ruler knife because it won't straight. But, you know, what is in my life? Sorry. So, gusset. flip it over. That gives you lovely pocket. And then the bit that sits down and then body flips out. Okay? That's the first one done. And that's the shape you should end up with. So, you watch me do it again, just for practice. Another one. Another one. Another one. And I am actually going to use my ruler and knife. So we'll cut that little corner off, and then I'm going to use my ruler and knife for the rest, just because it's easier for me. But as we're mass making, and I'm making a few of them, I'll do this bit on all of them, and this bit on all of them. Open this one. Ooh, too much. Can you tell I'm out of practice? It's been a while. So I've done lots of flip throughs, so I'm getting back into the swing of that and kind of enjoying that. But it's the first time I've actually made anything for a while on camera. And you forget about you're basically crafting at arm's reach, which is more difficult. Trust me, it is more difficult. And obviously you watch crafters and they make it look effortless. And with a bit of practice, you get that. But when you're starting out, because you kind of almost starting from the beginning again, in that respect, it's just difficult. Because you have to get used to doing things without getting your head in shot, without leaning over too much, without... It's very difficult to kind of gauge a straight line when you're doing it over that way, if that makes sense. So that's better. So do that one. We'll whisk it, because you know how to cut a straight line with a ruler and a knife. I would hope you might be better than I with scissors. I can fussy cut around just about anything, but straight lines I just don't do. So I'm always better with a ruler and a knife for a straight line. So that's that one. And that's that one. That's the and that's one. Chomp it off. There we go, that's that one. Just scooch that to the side of the way. Scooch all the bits out of the way. So we've got all of those. So now you think about in this section I want to put a pocket. And you could get a die cutting machine out, and I have got a big shop, and it would, I think, I'm not sure it would fit through, but I just think it's easier to find something to draw around, like, ta-da, I've got a punch, that's too big, I've got a smaller punch, and I think that sits nicely, just in there, and so, it gives you nice little rounded corners, line it up, draw around it, and that's going to be my window. So that's that one. This one I could go bigger because it's a lot blanker, so I could put a really big one on if I wanted, and I do, so I'm gonna. So we'll draw around that one, and I'm going to be able to rub these marks out, which is why I'm using a pencil. So this one, I need something longer and thinner because I don't want to do it on that bit, but I do want to do it on that bit. And so I'm going to go for this one, try and get straight. But what I'm going to do with this one, if I can, get it to look straight, is draw around the bottom of it, get a nice curved edge. But then draw around the top of it, move it up, and try and get the top edge that way. That is not at all straight, is it? So go like maybe that. Let's try that. Bear with. I'm determined to make it straight. It's straighter. I don't think it's perfect by now, but hey, don't need to be. So this one, because that's got quite a detailed thing on it, I'm gonna just put a little pocket in it. I'll put the lid on. I'm gonna go around my ink pad. I'm gonna pop it in there. And again, because it's got nice curved corners on it, I like it. So that's that one. Oh, and this one, same thing. I'm actually take my lid, because my lid's slightly small. Excuse me. I just rub it on something so that I don't get ink on the paper yet. I'm going to draw around that one there. As well there. But I'm also going to put one down here. So this one's going to have two. So this is going to be a double-sided tag in it. It's got a nice picture on both sides at different heights. Because, you know, complicated. What can I say? Let's try this one. Will that fit? Kind of does. It kind of butts up to that quite nicely. So I'm gonna see if I can get this looking straight. Hopefully it does. I mean, you're probably looking at it going, that's all kinds of crooked. But from this angle, it doesn't look too bad. And then I'm going to do the same. I'll put a long top pocket in this one. Yeah, there you go. So, using tools as not the tool they were designed for. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure that makes sense. And then, this way I have to try and get my spooky craft up. I find it easier to just use a knife and a ruler, but you could cut it like that and then use scissors to cut it out. I might do that one. Actually, I might do that on the smaller ones just so you can see. But I like my knife, and the thing is, it's a handcrafted, handmade item. Made with love and care, but it doesn't have to be exact. It goes back to that whole I was talking about on the podcast, William Morris and his ethos. Oh, and that was all kinds of wonky. And his ethos was to get away from mass making. So back in those days, let's think, my favourite William Morris print is called the Canthus. Absolutely love it. Can't get enough of it. I will sit and fussy cut it, but I also just love it as a fabric. I have plans afoot to have lots of it in my flat as my flat slowly gets decorated. There we go, that's good. We can rub pencil marks out after, but then you've also got a bit of scratch that will make a nice masterboard or collage or something like that. So this one, just go from the corners to do this one by hand, because they're little. Go from the corners, ba-da-ba-ba. Oop. Into the centre. So you've got that, and then we'll cut it out. But I'm going to do the same on this one first, and then we'll cut it out. This is crafting at speed. This is. See if I can get out. We'll see if I can get them all done now. That'll be kind of amazing. I don't mind putting it out there. So then let's take. I have these little scissors. The handle's too small for me on these ones, but it's the kind of size that I like for fuzzy cutting. But we're going to use it for this, and you can just and again, it's handcrafted and handmade, so a perfect straight line is not the aim of what I want. Essentially, I don't mind if it's got a bit of a wonk on it, because That's what it's supposed to have. It's supposed to look like handmade and handcrafted. Oh yeah, and yeah, so we're talking about William Morris. I'll cut these and we'll talk William Morris. One of the things I loved about William Morris and his ethos was the whole getting back to things made by people rather than machines. So if you, back in the days when he was around and producing, if you bought a canvas in a piece of material, which would have been my favourite then as it is now, you would have not got the same perfect piece every time you bought it. So you'd buy a piece, there'd be slight imperfections in it because it was either woven or printed by hand, depending on what you were using it for. There you go, so that's those two. And then the next time, the colour might be slightly different from the dyeing process or the weaving process. Oh no, I do it this way because it's another little one. There might be slight imperfections in one of the colours or one of the leaves or slightly different shades. So you never got the same thing twice, which showed that handcrafted, loved by a person, made by a person. And I think that's what we do perfectly, is it's handcrafted, hand-loved, handmade by a person who's put their own care and attention into something to create a piece of art, because it is art at the end of the day. If you're a journaler, you should also feel happy to call yourself an artist, because you are. I used to have this conversation with Dave quite a lot, because Dave would always say, I can do this and I can make this, but I'm not an artist. But that's not true. The fact that you can do it and do it makes you an artist. So I've always believed that. Anyway. So consider yourself arty, no matter what. So it's all to be creative, isn't it? It's all a part of being creative. So, because in all honesty, I've yet to meet, and I'm sure there are, and no offence if you are this person, but I've yet to meet a journaler or a person that makes cards and the only thing that they do is that, or the only thing they've ever done is that. Most people will have made cards and then become a journaler, or made scrapbooks and then become a journaler, or knitted or sewn or done something first and tried lots of different things and grown up doing things and essentially grown up being creative. And it's about the creativity, isn't it? It's very mindful, it's very relaxing, it's very good for you, but it's also letting the creation out, whether that's knitting stuff for your kids and grandkids, or my grandmother used to knit ferociously, and I've got 4 brothers, so every Christmas we had 5 matching jumpers, and every birthday we got a new jumper, and Rose had hats and scarves that she'd knitted, and that was her outlet. But then she also went on to scrapbook, and she collected pictures of certain people and stuff like that. She's obsessed with Princess Diana, who a lot of people were of my grandmother's age. She was a fabulous woman, flawed like all of us, but also fabulous. But yeah, and that's why one of the other things I said in the podcast, being asked questions, was the best bit of advice I've given was, don't just talk about it. Don't just say, I'd love to be able to pot or do, or, you know, go and do it, go and try it, give it a go. So there's a list of things. Millinery is a big thing, and if I can find a good millinery job, I will go on one, and when I can afford it, I will pay to go on one. But there's other stuff. I can knit really well, but I can't crochet. And I kind of like to master that. I'd like to try pottery. There's all sorts. So anyway, there we go. We've got all of those. I'm gonna, if I can find it, oh there, do some quick editing. Oh, the other thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put a divot on this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some together to put the divot on because I need the paper to be sturdier. So we'll do two at a time. And divots, some notches, whatever you call them. Technical terms, different people call them different things. Let's line those two up so we can get them. And I'm just doing this by eye. I'm not measuring the middle. It's not essential, you know. Ooh, let's see if this one works. There we go, done. Right, so next job, how do we have time? We're going to do this, we are going to do this. Next job is we need, oh, I wobbled you a bit, sorry, pulled on the wire. I have these old transparency films which I got in charity shop, 4 box, it's fabulous. And they all come back on this little bit of paper, but look, take that off. There. I don't know why, because they were in the box, but they're kind of sepia, which I think is fabulous. They're just not clear. So they work beautifully. So I'm going to take some of that. I think I'll need more than one. And they'll come back to the paper, which also coffee dyes really well. So you can oh, I've done it again. Sorry. The wire to the microphone, which I'm not sure it's working properly. I keep catching on. So apologies. Are we steady again? Off we go. Right, so this is what I am going to try and cut pieces for, if I can find my, can I find? Bear with me. Just need to take my glasses off so I can see at a distance. I've done it again, haven't I? Made you wobble. It's because I'm attached. I can't go directly attached to it. I don't know where my cutter's gone. Do you know what? We'll do it with the knife. So, I need to make a piece that will go around it. So I'm going to do this. Oop. I don't know that you can actually see this very well, but bear with me. Put them in that. Okay, you probably see the light shining off it. I can't see what I'm doing with my ruler now. This is my problem. Everything just gets buried really quickly. So, I'm going to... inches. I need 3.5, so 1, 2, 3.5. Perfect. That's that one. Because I need to be able to, I'm going to use double-sided tape. I want to be able to stick it. And we'll trim top and bottom after. So this one, is, this one to be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, this is what I love. The acetate kind of sticks to the mat, just because it's a clingy thing. So that's it in there. That's it there beautifully. That's that one. And then, you know what, we'll take, I'm going to take a bit off that one, but essentially leave it as is, just because. It's a waste of acetate to have that little bit, which I won't use for anything. That one will go in there, and we'll trim top and bottom. And then that, and 2 for this one. So put the other things on. I hope this is all making sense. Somebody will have to tell me. No doubt somebody will have a question if it's not making sense. So again, this one needs to be short of 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just make it a little bit smaller then, so that it doesn't impede, because we don't want that. There we go. And then I think I can just get away with doing this in half. Right, put it on that line. Let's see how big it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. God. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. this fits. So, bring that in. Oh yeah, so it's that one. And that's that one. And then, again, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 3.5 because then it's just a little bit small enough. And it should, hopefully, fit in there. So I've got, I have got enough left. And then I'm going to have it cut that. From there down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do it 4.5. Just so that I've enough room for tape and stuff around. So that'll be that one. Right, last one. I have this piece left. Will it? Right, so to take. Line this up. I don't know if you can see this very well, the acetate on the thing, but bear with me because it's the last one. I'm going to cut an inch, not an inch, 3/4 of an inch off that. So I've got a little bit. And that should fit there, and it does perfectly. And out of my 2 sheets, I've got that bit left, which is big enough to use something else. And then I'm gonna quickly, I got our white edges. I got these white edges. And let's put this way I'm going to use double-sided tape. I can't remember what they call it, finger rip tape, I think we call it something like that. It just go as close to the edge as you can. That one. Stuck to my finger, stuck to my finger. Ta-da. Again, stuck to my finger, too big. And you know, if you want to be panicky about it, which if you weren't here I probably would be, I'd sit and cut them off so they're lovely straight edges, but you know, time and that sort of thing. I'm trying to get all these done as quickly as I can, just for video's sake. So we will take all the furs off, take that off, take that off, and get off me. Get off me. And if you look, I've got enough room, so what I find easiest to get it to work is sit it on this fold and then fold it up, and that way you catch everything. There you go. So the top bit, I'll find my scissors again, there they are. I'm just going to trim flush with the top because then it makes getting things in and out easier. I'll get rid of that. And the bottom bit, I'm also going to trim flush. Not that it matters on the bottom because it won't impede anything getting in and out. Ta-da! And ta-da! So that's one. Right, be careful if we can whisk through these. So, again, finger tape. Oh, ripped the paper a bit, that's not good. Getting a bit excited. I have to do this so I don't lose. The other thing that I'm very good at doing is losing the acetate quite quickly. If I put it down anyway. Just because it's clear. And I guess I'm quite lucky that it's a bit sepia coloured because it makes it a little bit easier. Tip. And I've ripped it again. Oh, whatever. And tip. There we go. Wheel. Ooh, it's a bit of a get off me. Making a mess. Quickly whiz around that. Whiz around that. Whiz around that. Flip it over. Just not you again. It's because I'm attached. It's because I'm physically attached by a piece of wire that the microphone's on. So I do apologise for wobbling you. I hope nobody gets seasick. Oh, 2. Ta-da-da. Oh, that end's not stuck down properly. That's the day of my life when you're playing with tape and it doesn't stick properly. So annoying. So annoying. Anyway. Oh. And so every time you pull it up, instead of the backing coming off, the whole thing comes up. It gets quite frustrating. I'm quite good at that. And then this one will just sit. I'm going to sit it that way. And I've not made this one quite wide enough because that annoyingly is gonna, that side's fine. I've covered the tape that side, but there's tape that side. And the easiest thing to do, I find, is a very old book, got very thin paper, very brittle paper. I just do this. There you go. And it doesn't impede anything because it's so thin, but it covers it up. If you've got, if you're an embosser, if you're using embossing powders and embossing pads, you should have one of those cornflower pillows. That'll do it. Or, yeah, one of those cornflower pillows, that'll sort it out for you. But that's my little tip for when you've got nothing. It's just, that's my little glue book, and it's just very thin, very old paper that's not really fit for anything else. And it works perfectly every time. So it just covers it up without causing anything to get in the way when you put stuff in your pocket. So nothing impedes. So it's always good. Right, so there. Put that on the top. I realise I'm getting lower and lower. It's because I'm pulling it towards me. So I do apologise. Again, it's that whole, remember, you're crafting at a distance. Crafting over space. It's been a while since I've had to do it. That's too big again. Stuck to my finger. Bear with me. Double-sided tape stuck to my finger, didn't want to come off. I'm going to put that one in there. I'm going to put that one in there. And then we've pull everything off. So, come on. This is the bit that takes time. I can never get the tape off. Everything else I can fly through all the other bits. Just, getting the backing off the tape, the most annoying bit. So, there, and then you need to, which way was it? Oh, I think that way is better because it covers all the tape. There we go, that's that one. And move that out. This one. I'm just doing this by eye for speed. I would normally, like I said, like I did on the last one, butt it up and okay, so that's that one done. Double pocket. Yeah. This is boring bit that you have to watch. And I've never look. I'm getting really bad at that. Concentrate, Mr. Ting. Do as you're told. Down side. There. At the top. I always find it's better if your top one goes all the way along. In fact, I'm going to put the top one right at the top because it stops anything catching when you're putting a tag or something in. And I'm going to put this one on the bottom because it's long enough. We will take off the tape again. And I've just sort of become very aware that I inked the first two and I haven't inked these. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. The papers can cope without being inked, I'm sure. And I can cope with it. So, and if it's terrible and I hate it and I can see some white, I'll go over the top of it anyway. Because, I know I can. No, see? Oh, there we go. That's why I bought it up for a fold, because I thought I'd missed it then, but no, got all the tape. Oh, missed a bit there. But again, there we go. And then I'm going to trim across the top, and that's put us right up in tail. And I'm going to take it on the bottom. That one. Ooh, too much for. So bear with me. We will get there. We will get there. There. There we go. See, concentrate and you don't rip things. There. And does this one go? So this one again is also long enough to go top to bottom. So let's put tape right across the top. And we'll put tape right across the bottom. Let's move that out of the way. It's going to annoy me. But because it'll get caught on something. You just come down to all the way along the top, all the way along the bottom. There. There. And it's like the thing that's draws me down is peeling off the flipping tape. Right, so take the fold. Let me do this one because it's wide enough. Sit your acetate against the fold and let it fall. There you go. Everything's sticky covered up. And then we'll cut off the top. We'll cut off the bottom. Get rid of those. And last one. So again, we can go almost top to bottom. Round it with it because it's on the opposite side of this one. So where's it end? Finger tape. Right up to the edge on this one. There we go. This one I'm going to have to use the paper on because it's gone over the fold a little bit, but that's fine. I can cope with that if you can. It's just one of those things. And then I'm going to go just in there, and we'll go across there. Like that. Move the tape out of the way. There. Crafting chaos, that's what it is. I am very tidy in that I'll sort it and tidy it afterwards. But whilst I'm doing it, this is probably the best I've been for a long time, because usually my space gets smaller and smaller and smaller until there's literally a little inch square on my desk where I can move things, touch things, get things and get it working. So that's that one. Now, where did I put that set there? So I am going to have to do this slightly differently. I'm going to put it right up to there so that my fold still works. But I'm going to come down under the divot that I've cut. There we go. I'm going to turn the bottom to get rid of that. And then I'm just going to cover my glue. There we go. Simple as that. And it's left a tiny little slither of paper on there that's not going to impede anything, but stops it sticking. Okay, so now we can do the do. So fold this one in, fold this one in, fold this one over, and this one folds this way. So the only thing I'd say, you could ink all of it afterwards, but the one thing I'd say is either ink this bit or stick something in. I'm actually going to stick something in, but definitely this bit, ink down here. Now this was not too bad because the paper's covered it, but it's going to be very, very white there. I'll do it down there, and it just gets rid of that very, very white edge. I'm going to take bits of this and I'm going to, same page, comes in handy, take glue stick, and I'm going to glue this in there. There. Oh no. Alright? Yeah. Give it totally in the wrong. Totally not in the middle. But you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Trim off the excess. And there we go. Put that with the rubbish. And then when it's closed, it doesn't look quite so blah 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 blah. That's that one. And then so let's just glue them. Oh, and then let me actually glue for this, I think. And gonna glue down the side, glue the bottom, put the lid back on, it's near the end of the bottle, so I'm trying to keep it upside down. And then I'm going to glue that down. And there. One side of the pocket, other side of the pocket with window. Oh, no, I need to rescue that. Easily done though. I'm literally going to half that in size. Fold. Still gluey, thank the Lord. And there we go. Better. That's that. Oh, now you can see the bit of book page, which just adds a little bit of interest because it's a vintage colour. So there you have it. That's the first one. So that bit sticks down, and then you've got your flip pocket. Ba-da-ba-ba. Number one. So how are we doing for time? It's gonna be a fast. Get on with it fast. So I'm gonna do this bit. I'm gonna sort out afterwards. Otherwise, I won't get these done in time. But we'll fold this bit. Fold this bit. It's just gonna show as well. Nope, that was okay. So let's. I'm trying to get as many done as I can in an hour. So that's the plan. That's that. And then fold it over, stick it down. I'll ink that edge afterwards. Even though I should have done it before. But there you go, there's another one. Ba-da-ba. Same again, do this. Ba-da-ba. And this is that's gonna show. I'm gonna have to make that a little bit smaller. That's fine. That's the beauty of having a bit of excess. And a bit of excess never hurt anybody, he said, patting his belly. So let's glue down now. Glue across there. Now, obviously, if you're doing this, you don't have to rush and get them all done in an hour, do you? So you can take the time to do the pre-inking, sorting everything out, filling in the divvy bit. So there we have again. That'll go on a page. That bit flips out. You've got this and a pocket, yeah? And that's got a little bit of glue stick to it, but that's fine. Yeah? Bottom. Side. We'll glue. Da-da. Da-da. We'll glue the bottom. Ba-da-ba. I think I've been a bit over ambitious trying to do them all. suspicion never hurt anybody. No, it didn't. So that's another one. So this is double pocket, so that sits on the page. And we tuck there, and that bit flips out. Bit of both. Pocket there, some pocket, window there, window there. Again, fold and fold. And when you're folding, fold your bottom over the top on. When you're looking at it this way, on the outside of this one, because then when you put something in, it doesn't catch, and it'll go all the way to the bottom. So you can have a bigger tag, which you know is kind of important to me. Big tag. So I like a big tag. So it's that one and that one. You go back on there. You fold over there. Oh, there's that one. Just flips out in a different direction, but that bit sticks on your page. It can be a tuck spot. You can even make it a top pocket. And then window pocket. There. Last one. So there's that. Glue. And glue. And flip them over. Stick it in. Stick your fingers. But hey. So, again, this bit sticks on your page, stick it down there, tuck spot over there, and you've got a pocket that flips out with a nice picture, and a nice pocket with a window. So you can put some in. So, there we have it. There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four, there's five, and there's 6. 57 minutes, look at that, I did 6 in 57 minutes. So, I have done one. Did I put it in this journal? Let's see if I can find it to show you. Bear with me. Cause I'm sure I did. I might not have done, but might have been one of those. It's going to be in here, I think. Somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't. I thought I had, but maybe I didn't. No, similar envelope, same principle. Bit that sticks down, window, bit pops out. Yeah, but that's what you do. Is find a blank page. Find a bigger blank page. There you go. That'll do. So this, I would wrap it around there, glue it, tuck spot, and then this would sit here and flip out. Ta-da! There you go, done it. 1 hour, 6 flips, off you go, your turn. Hope that was alright, hope it made sense, hope you enjoyed. Join me again soon. Bye.